Gee, think we could be in the Bone Lands?
A remote possibility. The welcoming committee must have forgotten our arrival time.
Welcome back to Darkened Skye. And I can confirm we have made it to the fabled Bone Lands. Here they apparently bury giants. Although apparently bury is not the correct term. We'll be seeing just what they do with corpses that end up here in the Bone Lands as we explore it, but first, little information about the area.
Danger! Marrow scorpions will attack without provocation. The marrow scorpion is so named because it dwells within decaying bones where it feeds upon... Ew!
Pie, maybe.
Pie, right, that's it.
Its venom is extremely poisonous. Native warriors once believed in its virility-enhancing properties and would rub it on their...
Shoes, maybe.
Shoes, right, yeah, that's it.
That weird warbly effect, that's a camera glitch. Ever seen that happen before, but there we go, that's why we do these Let's Plays, to record horrible flaws that would never happen otherwise. Oh, and worm drakes. Forget about them, I guess.
A message is contained herein for she whose hands are fated to fit.
If it doesn't fit, you get to quit? Like the proverbial glove.
Talisman bearer, as the prophecy has foretold, again with the foretelling, you come to bring new life to Quinella, the spirit of Stoneheath. Gather her 3 possessions, then turn back for her the hands of time. To prove your worthiness, prepare to make an offering of pure scorpion venom.
You know, venom's one of those words that never sounds all happy and junk.
Now we have our assignment for the Bone Lands. Fill this vial with venom. You know it's going to require a bunch because it's a percentile. And I guess I'm going to have to just ignore the O.J. Simpson joke because we're being harassed by worm drakes again. Easily the best thing about being underground in the Goblin Workshop. No worm drakes could get you there. There's relatively few here in the Bone Lands, but still way too many. Any is too many at this point. Oh, and I dread the final level, which is supposedly the Worm Drake homeworld. But anyway, lightning is a fairly effective tool for dealing with worm drakes. Unlike other projectiles, it travels the entire screen instantaneously, so it can actually hit them while they're in flight. That softened them up nicely for us to finish them off. Nothing else to say about the pedestal. We've got its vial, so we're on our way. On our way to platforming on bones, and checking out this. See, what they do here with the bodies of dead people in the Bone Lands is they make insane sculptures with them. I don't know who's responsible, where the funeral home is around here, but I have to wonder if people's loved ones are aware of this fact. It looks awesome though, it's very Geiger-esque. Very bizarre to see coming off of the Cronenberg world we were in last time. But highly appreciated. Ah, and the scorpions themselves. We're gonna have to hunt and kill plenty of them. Fill up this vial. But we've been warned about their deadliness. And their aphrodisiac properties, apparently. But interesting to note, they've been hunted so long that they're afraid of humans. Once they're attacked, they will run for their lives. The only way to kill them is to corner them. Or to, attack them with ranged spells for a long time, but once they're hit, they run off, so even ranged spells are pretty hard to kill them with. Luckily, there is a better way to get venom. Happens to be in this writhing pile of bones. Yeah, whenever we're near these things, it plays a footstep sound effect for some reason. Presumably it's because the creature inside is actually in the world somewhere, shaking around. We just can't see them because their character model is dead. But we can fix that. Maybe we shouldn't, but we're gonna.
Hello there! I feel much better now. Let's fight! Come on! Winner gets manly venom from loser.
So these are the very warriors that collect scorpion venom for its fabled purposes. So they've got some, and we gotta fight them to get it. They are masters of fire spells for some reason, despite supposing to be big, tough brawlers. They're sorcerers. And they're pretty hard to kill. Especially because their fire spells can do a lot of damage. If we stand still while the Inferno here is chasing us, it'll eat us alive. So we gotta watch out for that. And lightning here, pretty useless. Does a little bit of damage, but it's not gonna kill them in any efficient amount of time, unlike their spells with regards to us. So I'm gonna heal up and get a better loadout going. What we want is magnified polar pulses. Those are killers, and we'll be using them to kill. Once we get a good shot on him, we can stun lock him, and then he's done for.
Sometimes the spirit of Gwenella is seen inside the circle of stones. I think she's waiting for her horse to return.
Gonna get a lot of insight with that dopey voice. Maybe wasn't the wisest voice to give them, but I don't know, it gives them some characters, some character. Of course, they're all gonna have the same character. They didn't get a new voice actor for every single one of them, and there will be more. So I'm also gonna throw on Shadow Vision and Diminish to solve some future puzzles. One of them is right here. Go inside the skull, you get a prize. But we haven't seen the last of crazy bone architecture here in the Bone Lands. Got this building here. Yeah, very inviting. Can't wait to get inside. And indeed, there is an inside. But first, you can usually get one polar pulse off on the spiders, I'm gonna call them, apparently. It takes 2 to kill the scorpions. And usually they run away after 1, but they'll be slowed down. So, killing one of the bone monsters, that's what the undead guy here is called, that gets you 10% of your vial. Killing one of the scorpions gets you 4%. Luckily this place is crawling with both, so we will have more than enough. Assuming we don't just ignore all the enemies, which we can do. There are no active threats on this map except for worm drakes. This is not the correct spell. Somewhat detrimental, in fact. But doesn't last for very long.
Greetings, Talisman Bearer.
Heyo, nice to be recognized, I guess.
I am the guardian spirit of this temple. I and others like me protect that which belonged to Gwenella of old, so that she may one day live again, as prophecy foresees.
So Gwenella's got some sub-Gwenellas that live here in nightmarish caves, and talk in lilting musical voices about solving puzzles to save the day.
Behold the boots of eternal wear, to give Gwenella life once more. You must also gather her pure white garment and the pendant she wore about her neck.
So here's our secondary collectible. We need Gwynnella's shoes and dress and necklace. But how do we get it? Obviously it's gonna have something to do with these buttons. And perhaps these things here. Pretty sure I played with those on playgrounds decades ago. But they don't move quite as easily as I recall. We have to press the floor buttons in order to spin them around, and we can't press the same button twice in a row. So we have to alternate between these two. And if we press this button in the back, it just sort of jumbles things up. There's not a lot of logic to it, except that this button controls the right and this one controls the left. Or vice versa, I think? Yeah, they're switched. We have no indication of what we're going for, but when we get it, it is somewhat apparent. Somewhat. It's this. See? That makes perfect sense.
Treat the boots of eternal wear with reverence. May the rainbow light your path.
There's very little in the way of indication of how to solve that puzzle. I legitimately didn't even know I was pressing the buttons and just randomly clicked on this thing, and boom, puzzle solved. So I got really lucky my first time solving that. And we can keep screwing with it if we want to. But you want these mirrored images that were previously on there. I've kind of ruined it now, but we'll see it again plenty of times. Spoilers. But back to the Bonelands. Might as well take out this chap. First we gotta resurrect him.
Hello there! I feel much better now. Let's fight. Come on! Winner gets manly venom from loser.
And they've all got the same introductory dialogue. But the reason I am bothering to resurrect most of them is that their dialogue upon defeat is different for each one.
Put Gwynella's things on the old tree inside the ring of stones.
Yeah, can't miss that voice clip. Also, most of what they're going to tell us is common sense, but it's also by far the fastest way to fill up that venom vial. Chasing around these scorpions is time-consuming, and nets much less venom per kill. Nonetheless, there's not enough of the Bone Warriors to get all the venom from them. They're actually called Bone Monsters, even though they're not that scary. Now, if we find our way into this weird cave, pretty much just here for potions. That's fine. It's also here for death if you fall off the pathway here. Gonna avoid that. And there's a few scorpions about. Like I said, they will turn and fight you, but only if they're cornered. You gotta get real close before they will even bother. So some weird Leviathan ribcage. Need to shrink down to get through it. But it'll sort of get us closer to where we need to go. It's a very linear area. Doesn't seem that way at first. Especially because we appear to have reached the end of it already. After one collectible and a couple of sub-boss fights. Can't smack around the scorpions. That will kill them pretty quick. They've got very low health. But they're kind of hard to hit. They also change colors as they're getting attacked. I believe that will also change their behavior. This red one is a little more aggressive than the colorless ones. And of course the blue one is just slower because it's been hit with a polar pulse. So, don't want to attempt platforming there. There's a few ways to get around, but ultimately the area is quite simple. And Wormdrake's back, like they ever left. Yeah, it hasn't been activated yet, but I can hear it. I'm gonna activate it soon. Sooner or later. Whether I want to or not. But first we can appreciate this Diablo structure. Yep. So out of place in Darkened Skye, but I do like it. Okay, apparently that Wormdrake's not gonna activate. I'm cool with that. If only more of them were possible to get away without activating. Because Wormdrakes are gonna be a real problem. They're not a problem for now, though, so I will take my leave. Through another ribcage. Perhaps the same ribcage. I think I got turned around. Nope. Making progress. Definitely don't want to diminish around the scorpions, then they'll have the upper hand. Not in any functional sense, but symbolically. They do kind of blend into the area, which makes perfect sense. They are naturally adapted to it. But it makes them a little harder to catch. Yeah, when they are near death, they go red, get angrier, try to kill you. We've already made it to our second Temple of Bone. Someday, I will find the entrance, having found the structure itself pretty quickly. Perhaps I won't. There it is. Ooh, what's that? That is an interesting area. To be explored shortly.
As the spirit who guards this temple, I am honored to greet you. Great Quinella has been gone from us since the 4 times, but her pure white garment has been given our protection ere the day she rides again.
Second verse, same as the first.
Gather Quinella's pendant and the boots of eternal wear, and you shall be ready to instill new life within her.
Much like Stoneheath, this is literally the same puzzle over and over. But we can see we've got the first weird shape in the right spot on the left there. So let's see if the right one will help us out any. Nay. And we can't press it again. So let's just re-roll the whole thing. And do a little back and forth. There's no real rhyme or reason to it. Yeah, that didn't work. But I think we're getting there. Yeah, there it is.
It is your fate to bring new life to Quinella.
As we know, this is well-tread ground at this point. And it's unfortunate that the main puzzle is so very similar to that of the Stoneheath first starting area. But it's no big deal. It's vaguely interesting the first time you do it. And much less so on successive tries. On to big old pyramid of bones. This is what finally activates that worm drake. And nets us another Skittles. It's either a green or a yellow. Regardless, it's not one we needed, and there are no new spells in this level. I finally decided on consistent nomenclature for the areas in this game. I've decided that Stoneheath here, as well as Zenjai and Lanlora and the like, those are worlds. And the Bonelands would be more of a level, as was the Goblin Workshop and the Stonehenge area. So those are levels. And anything between two loading screens is a zone. So all of the Bonelands here takes place in one zone, but the Goblin Workshop was also one level, consisted of, I think it was 4 zones. Yeah, consistent language, 13 videos into the Let's Play. I'm good at this. And I'm great at fighting worm drakes. Whoa, that was certainly a thing. Not a thing that's supposed to happen strictly. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. But anyway. That is the second individual worm drake. The next 2 worm drakes will appear in huge groups. And I'm not going to appreciate it. But that unfortunate scorpion got pinned. Easily gave up his venom. There's another one wandering around here. It can't get too far. So it's another good one to collect. Even when they do retaliate, it's not very impressive. Not a good combo, but gets the job done. After 1 Polar Pulse, they've got about 1 HP, so anything you hit them with will kill them at that point. Second Polar Pulse is overkill. Oh, what have we here? Quite an elaborate Stonehenge-like area. But we can't get there from here. And we don't need to get there from here. Can't quite use it just yet. Still hearing a worm drake sound. So there is another unactivated one around that area. I am glad for the poor enemy placement there. So I don't need them. And this one sort of lures us into checking out the Stonehenge area. But it doesn't save him. Sorry, scorpion friends. But you're too useful to live. And we're halfway there.
When you have found all of my possessions, my garment, my boots, and my neckstone, return here with them. Thank you, my friend.
Long time no see, Guinella.
You have braved the terrors of Stoneheath, and still you come to free my spirit.
I'd say the terrors of Stoneheath are just beginning. I just noticed this is 5-pointed. There's a big circle around it. Each of the points is glowing with red death power. This is overtly satanic. Ah, Darkened Skye. You never cease to amaze. So what we want to do is go to the tree, use our existing items, and we'll just kind of go into the tree. Yeah, the shoes are just kind of gone. No matter where you put them, Skye just leaves them floating in midair, and I guess I was too close to the tree model, so she just sort of put it through the tree. Not unlike the dress here. Just clip it right through there. Perfectly fine. But we do not have the final piece. So, back to more scorpion hunting. Glad there's no, like, poison effect from fighting the scorpions. Real-world scorpions are some of the deadliest creatures on Earth. Matter of fact, the only things deadlier are snakes. Scorpions kill more humans than anything else except for snakes. So don't be afraid of spiders. Be afraid of scorpions. Unless you have a magical staff and numerous magical spells. Then hunt them for their venom. Put it into a vial and use it to resurrect some kind of princess thing. I actually don't really know Gwinella's history. I think she's a warrior maiden of some sort. But yeah, they never really specify why she's so important, just that she is. Specifically because she knows where the prism is. But really, anyone could do that. Lots of entrance and exit points from the skulls. They're over-designed for some reason. And another bone warrior. These things can kill you very quickly, as I have not demonstrated, surprisingly. But I'm gonna save before I fight this guy. So I would not appreciate a mishap all of a sudden. So what we can do is prepare our amplify magic, magnify magic even, then wake him up.
Hello there.
Skip those, because they're the same every time. And get fighting. So there's his deadly ground fire spell. And his ring attack, where he sprays a ring of fireballs. If you're too close, all of those fireballs will hit you at once and you'll just die instantly. Ooh, as that just happened, I was literally dumbstruck by the horror. But thankfully I saved. I just saved over my save. This game's menus are the hardest part. And I'll be back after I've replayed everything up to that point. See you then.
Gwinnella and her white horse must be together again.
Pretty sure we did not previously kill that one. And if we did, you get to enjoy that cutscene twice. That cutscene that tells us what we already knew. Because otherwise, we're back where we left off. And I did realize that if we want to kill our scorpions from long distance, we can one-hit kill them with a magnified polar pulse. Yeah, pretty clever. You can see why that would take me like 100 kills before I realized it. This mountain of skulls here, I safely traversed it before, as you'll recall. Then I discovered that it's incredibly glitchy. I guess because parts of it are crammed through the world like this, it creates seams in the geometry, and if you walk past it just right, you fall to your death, straight out of the world. I've discovered that twice. Here's the actual gentleman we left off on. Should be able to fight and kill him real quick. So, I was gonna say that glitch with his little Inferno move is that if you stand perfectly still, it does no damage. That's not always true though, as you've seen.
A long time ago, Gwinnella hid the rainbow prism. She's the only one who knows where it's hidden. And
even after death, their Inferno move can injure and kill you. So that's something to be careful of. One thing I noticed during that cutscene was that the bone monsters have, like, that thing that Bayonetta has in the middle of her chest on their chests. I'm not going to spoil it for people who haven't played Bayonetta, because it's a major plot point. And I've also forgot the details, because I haven't played Bayonetta in like 4 or 5 years. I actually really love those character action games like that, but Bayonetta never fully clicked with me. I beat it a few times, and enjoyed it on those times, but always preferred Devil May Cry. But they're all good. Not really worth comparing or mentioning in a Darkened Skye Let's Play. Ooh, this is the area I was dreading. Time to fight 3 worm drakes, 2 of them the yellowish-orange super worm drakes. And I doubt I'll have much to say, and it's going to take forever. So I expect to either cut this out completely or speed it up, depending on which is required. It may take too long to even speed up. But let's find out through combat and horror. Ah, finally. Yeah, that definitely took long enough. And one thing I used there was that they can't seem to go past about this point. Something about their pathing, or I don't know, just trouble with the geometry. If they dive bomb you, they will not go past the statue. So you can use that to avoid some damage, but clearly not enough because I went through literally all of my health potions. And there is one in this skull, so I'm gonna go get it. About half the skulls have health potions in them. There's actually plenty of health potions in this level, but most of them are a little inconvenient to get. Definitely gonna save before I fight this monster. And hopefully can take him out with ease. The area that we're in is highly beneficial to him. We can't really break line of sight. So in fact, I'm gonna cheat just a little bit. Use the last of our rune mines.
I like you. You helped me. I want to beat you up now, okay? Come on.
Winner gets manly venom from loser.
Huh, kind of a shame that the explosions happened during the cutscene, because he actually had a slightly different catchphrase. But I guess we'll hear it again because he murdered me. Let's not save over my current save this time. Can't believe I did that. And do this the right way. That's 100% not the right way. These buttons are a little confusing, is my excuse. Oh, and if we talk to the corpses before waking them up...
Prognosis guarded.
Interesting. I think Skye actually has a few different lines for that. Maybe I'll try that out on the next one as well.
You help.
Stay right there. Get blown up 3 times.
May the white horse ride again.
The white horse. What has Dorian done with it? It was in my care.
He doesn't care, Skye. He just wants us to continue dying after he's been defeated. I guess they do die, because they're just gone. They don't walk away or anything. They disappear from the world. Oh, you saw me go through this path and out the skeleton mouth here. There's a Skittles inside. They give us 2 yellow skills in this level, and they don't really do anything. Like, they don't give us access to different spells. They don't let us equip better spells at the same time. It's rather pointless. Not that I'm complaining about Skittles. I would never. They might cut my funding. But, it could be more useful, that's for sure. Gotta really point the camera straight down in order to hit these guys before they get away. And 2 health potions. But we're quite near the end. Just gotta cross this bridge where we obviously have the final bone temple. That'll give us the last piece of Gwenella's junk that we need. And let's see what we're doing. 70% on the vial, which is not great. Also, really not great, is a ton of worm drakes. I am going to retreat. No, I'm not. I'm going to die. I'm going to cut back to after the worm drakes have been defeated. I am pretty sure I got all 3 of those worm drakes. One of them sort of flew off into the nothingness and hasn't returned yet. Didn't kill them, but they're gone either way. So what we want to do now
Use him? But that would be wrong.
is indeed use the bone monster. With proper preparation.
Fine.
Ask Gwenella where the prism is hidden.
And here we see, for some reason, the Inferno spell not killing me. When it works, it's lethal. But half the time it doesn't work. And over here, another worm drake. You'd have to be a damned fool to activate him, though. Because he's way off in the distance, and there's nothing over there. Just leave him be. And go solve the final puzzle.
In these temples lie the jewels and garments of fabled Gwenella, which we guard so that one day she may walk again. It has been my duty to protect her amulet. When you have gathered the white dress and the boots of eternal wear, you will be ready to fulfill your destiny.
I hope we can manage it, because this is by far the hardest puzzle yet. In the sense that we walk in and it's already solved. Oh, I just noticed they're little handprints. So that's the solution. Skye's gotta press her hands in there, and if it's a ridiculous shape that her hands wouldn't fit, then obviously it doesn't work. But yeah, don't press the buttons, because that unsolves the puzzle.
Before the pendant can be taken, you must make the traditional warrior's offering of scorpion venom to the guardian spirits who protect Gwenella's legacy. Place a full bottle of venom on the altar.
That's where we run into a little bit of a problem, because I have not been fully diligent in my venom collection. I'll be right back after I go kill 3 scorpions. And now we have everything we need for the simplest puzzle. Oh, I just realized there aren't even buttons in this room. You can't mess up the puzzle. It's just a check to make sure you've got all your venom. I thought the check was later in the level. I thought I'd have a chance to get back to the mainland and go grind up some more poison. But no, misremembered.
Before the turn back the tides of time, revive Gwenella's spirit.
Will do. That's the last thing we needed. To go return to Stonehenge and complete this level that I've ludicrously overcomplicated. So one thing about the way we got over to this area is it is not possible to go back the same way. We kind of went down a hill that we can't get back up. So we're going to have to firewalk our way back to the mainland. Or just jump on lava. I prefer firewalk. I prefer to cast it before I jump into the lava, though. And while you're doing this, this is where you're at risk of activating the Worm Drake, which I did indeed off screen. Yeah, you could quite easily get here without firewalk, but it certainly makes life easier. And I need that. I have just ludicrously overcomplicated this level. It's quite simple. It can go a lot faster. And I assume the finish video will be pretty quick. But I've got a lot of stuff to edit out. Because of my many mistakes. But just off in the distance is Gwinella's pentagram of power. We will finally be able to put all 3 of our artifacts on there and call it a day. Probably going to reactivate the cutscene because I didn't on my replay. There we go. Put all our junk on the tree and see what happens. There we go, all 3 pieces. Most of them completely invisible. Nothing happens immediately because we gotta shoot it with the time device.
Gwynella? Is it really you?
I hope so, or all your bravery has been for nothing. Thank you, Skye. You've done the impossible.
I revived your horse, but I'm afraid it's
A little hungry? Now do you trust me?
working on it. What about the prism? Gwynella, you're the only one who knows where it's hidden.
Hidden? Who said it was hidden?
Thank you. I'll treat it with... Dorian, no!
Go, Skye, now! Return to your home while you can! Away! Home! May the rainbow save us all.
Dorian shows up with a white horse, like a knight in shining armor, just at the right moment. But what else rides a pale horse? That's right, death. Join me next time for the darkened part of Darkened Skye.